Blessings crew, welcome to this week's offering and brought to you once again from the dining room, perhaps with the puppies joining me after last week's hilarity, perhaps not, we'll see. Just take this moment just to kind of find that centre line, both in terms of the physical but also maybe the centre line of you, that kind of gathering yourself in for practice. We're going to start just with some breath work, just kind of noticing. So maybe just find a comfortable shape to make with your body that's seated. So you might want to prop, you might want to lean against something, but we want to make sure that the space is open for the breath. Then we're just going to kind of soften that, because sometimes we do that and we stiffen right up. And so we're going to soften the shoulders. We'll try it around that way. And welcome Nelly to the mat. Hello. And as we soften our shoulders and we bring ourselves into our space, we're going to just notice the natural breath. So what's that natural shape of the breath? How does that breath feel? And if it's tight, what's making it tight? You know, are we anxious? Are we tired? Are we just not noticing? Have we got some sore muscles? And so just kind of noticing, or if the breath feels quite lovely, enjoying that. Enjoy that it feels good. And as we do that, we then start to feel the breath, and we start to slow down, and we're gathering that energy in. Coming inwards, I know. Inwards. What have you got on your mush? Noticing that the dog's got half the garden on your whiskers. And then what we're going to do, crew, is we're going to just notice that breath, and we're going to take the exhale and we're going to take it that little bit deeper. And we're going to think of it as a release. So we're breathing out what we need to breathe out. Good story. And we're noticing at the bottom of that exhale, there's a pause, right? There's a moment. And we're noticing that moment, and we're allowing that moment to expand. When the inhale arrives, we're letting that inhale come in slowly. We're going to notice our mind. So does our brain want movement? Yoga, come on. And if so, just kind of notice that and go, oh, check me out, wanting to rush my practice. Did you eat half of Auntie's garden? Did you? And what we're going to do with this kind of slowing down of this breath is we're going to bring our hands onto our tummy, or the puppy dog if she's sitting on you like this one is. And we're going to think of it as just that calming and gentle breath. I'm going to think of the whole body benefiting from that breath, right? So your breath is being circulated by your heart right round the body. You know, all that beautiful oxygen that's getting absorbed from your lungs into your bloodstream, and then that whole beautiful respiration process. Feel like you're filling a tank up, that perhaps we get too busy, perhaps we rush, perhaps we don't pause, perhaps you add yours. And this is that moment just to pause, just to be in the practice of the breath. You might have an active breath process, you might have an active practice. That is the stronger breath work, and that's fine. Don't forget to come back to the simplicity of this one. We're going to move those hands up to the heart space. So right underneath, left on top. Unless the dog is, you know. Okay. I'm going to feel that breath kind of circulating under our hands. Can I do the practice? We notice the breath for another few breaths, just coming inwards. And then we're going to lay ourselves down. And so take yourself down to the floor, onto your back. And we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, and we take our feet up towards the roof. And we're going to wriggle our arms up towards the roof as well. Stretch out your fingers. And a little bit of an option here, crew. And again, we want to keep our breath of tucking our chin in and lifting our head up and rolling up towards our toes. Nice deep breath. Feeling that strength, that warmth. Come into the breath again. If the breath shortens, bring it back down into the belly. Then coming down, soles of the feet together. Knees drop out to the side, arms go over the head, Supta Baddha Konasana. Noticing, so bring that breath into focus. Exhale, let it out. Then back into that leg lift, so knees back together, feet up towards the roof, arms lift, head can lift if you wish. Long, deep breath. Then vertebrae by vertebrae down, soles of the feet together, knees drop out to the side, arms over the head. Nice deep breath. And then our feet are going to go one either side of the mat, and our arms are going to come into our cactus or goddess arms. And then just let that left knee drop towards that right foot. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Right knee drops towards left foot. Inhale up. Once we get that movement going, when that knee drops over, the other knee can drop out as well, but just get the movement first, and then let's start warming into those hips, letting tension out of the body. Working with the breath, so that slow exhale, slow movement. We're going to bring it back to center. Bring those knees together, those feet together. And we're going to lift the hips up and over to the left. And take the knees right into that twist. And we did this one the other week, crew, and I got a couple of you commenting, sending me a message about it because it's quite nice. I'm going to spread our wings out in that stretch and just get our shoulders nice and warm. So our knees have gone over to the right, so we're going to take that left hand. We're going to follow it with our eyes as it comes up and over, touches our right hand. And we inhale up to the center, and we exhale and we open that arm back out to the floor. And that's the movement. So inhale up to that center point with that left hand. Exhale, take it over to touch the right hand. Inhale it back up. And exhale it over. Follow it with your eyes, so your neck's getting that lovely rotation. And just find the rhythm of your breath.
And we're noticing, what does our mind do when we start to repeat something a few times? Can we stay focused on those sensations, or do we wander off as we come up one more time and open back out into that twist? Take the gaze along that left arm. Take a few breaths there. Trouble. Oh, hello, Monty. Oh, both of you. Oh, with wet whiskers. Love you too. What you doing? Are you going to sit on the throne? Monty has arrived and he's sitting on his chair. So we're going to bring the knees back to centre, the hips back to centre. We're going to take them over to the right and the knees go left. So those of you that might have noticed the old chair now in view, it was meant to go up to Heart and Soul, but Monty claimed it and has been using it as his favourite chair ever since. So let's get that movement going. We're going to take that right arm this time. Inhale it up to centre. Exhale, touch it over to that left hand. Inhale up. Exhale back out and open. Go slow. Nice deep breath again, checking in on our wonderful mind. What does it do when we're repeating? As we go into that last one like this and open it out. Take that gaze along that right hand. And then bring it all back to center. And bring those knees in towards the chest and feet. Head up towards the roof. Nice extension up through the feet. The toes a wriggle. Option, bring those arms up. Lift the head, reach up towards those toes. We're going to come into a gentle happy baby from there. So take hold of the feet, bring the head down if you've had it up. And just go gently. We're still warming into the body. Depends what you've been doing for the day. Always listening in, Nadine, to what feels good, what doesn't. Soles of the feet together, knees come down, feet come down, arms go over the head, reach it out. And then bring these arms back out from the shoulders, palm facing up, knees come together. And we're bringing them up and in towards us, and our feet are off the floor, crew. And just get used to kind of just a gentle rock across the lower back. So our legs are making a nice 90-degree shape. And we're going to start taking that rock just a little bit further, where it's a little bit of work to come back to center, but we're going nice and slow. And so as our knees rock over, it's like, oh, I've actually got to work to bring them back up to that center point. And that might be plenty, crew, or you might be able to go a little bit deeper as we go along. Just keeping that rock gentle or strong, depending on how you're feeling. Most important, slow. If you're starting to take it quite deep, pop the breath into it. So exhale as the legs go down. towards the floor. Inhale as they come back to center. We might be getting a little bit closer to them touching the floor. Just keep that control. We're not going to touch the floor. So we're always just about there, and then we lift if you're starting to get quite deep. Next time they go left, we're going all the way over. Sink the knees down. Take your left hand to your right knee and just draw it in towards your chest. Right foot ends up on that left knee. Stack those knees back on top. Bring those knees slowly back up and over to the right. Right hand to the left knee, drawing it in. Stack the knees back on top of each other. Bring them back to center. Stretch the feet up towards the roof. Nice deep breath there. Let those heels push away. Bring your focus into your calf muscles, your Achilles, your hamstrings. We're going to bring the feet down and into that Baddha Konasana shape again. So soles of the feet together, knees drop out. Hello, Nelly. And then we're going to bring our right knee in and we're going to give it a hug. And then we're going to take hold of the back of that leg and lift it up towards the roof. And we've got that option, team, for those that want a little bit more core work. Tuck the chin in, lift the head and shoulders, start to walk up that leg, just slow. Drawing it towards you, so into that hamstring stretch. Heel pressing away, toes drop towards you. And then down we go, mirroring what we're doing with that left leg before we bring that left knee in. Give it a squeeze first. Then hands wrap around the back of it as that foot goes up. Once we're set up, if you want to, lift the head, shoulders. Check that neck feels alright. Bring it down slow. Reach the arms over your head. And sink into the breath for a couple of minutes. Crew in our 20-minute crew. This is a nice wee floor sequence for you. Those of you staying on, just taking that moment to bring that energy inwards and back into that slow integrated breath. Let's bring our knees back together. Feet flat on the floor. Lift up the toes, give them a good stretch. And then we're going to take it over onto our right side. Come up slowly to seated.
Oh, team. Whew. So noticing how we might be feeling as we come up to seated. Adjusting here is optional, crew. And we want to stay with this kind of focus on moving around our core. Okay, so being able to not just kind of the straight up and down kind of movements that we might be used to from the gym or from other yoga parts of yoga, but also this twist. Okay, so that's where yoga's got a real advantage. And one of the things is that if we sit like this and we move our upper body around towards the left, say, we're going to find that we want to get as much of a range of motion as we can before we have to start relying just on our shoulders and neck to get round. So we want this movement to be as free as we can get it. And so we're going to go around the other way. And some of you might have heard me talk about backing cameras, right? That because we've got backing cameras now, we don't do these movements as much. And so we're going to then take that gaze over that shoulder. And we're going to open our eyes nice and wide and look. And then we're going to come back and we're going to go the other way. And so a lot of what we're doing is we're both loosening up, but we're also strengthening up. There's a lot of strength to get yourself around there. So bring it back and over that shoulder, and then come back to center. We're going to inhale and take our arms up, and then we're going to reach our arms out wide and around behind us and link our fingers. Roll those shoulder blades down, take our chin in, and nice deep breath there. Okay, so our neck is a huge part of this, right? So when we're doing our opening with our twist, you might notice that's like, oh, actually that movement there is quite hard as well. And so we think about range of motion movement. It's a bit like being able to sit cross-legged, okay? So some of you really struggle, some of you this is easy. We want ease in the body. So if you've been wondering why we'll get a focus like that, or I might say, look as far as you can, it's because those are the kind of things that I see people losing when I'm teaching yoga, and what I feel in my own body. You know, it's like, oh, I've got to keep practicing that because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it. Change the feet round. Okay, so we've sat like this for a little while. Change your feet round, and this time we're putting a more active twist in. So we're going to take our hand around, but this arm we're not going to reach that way, we're going to reach open. Okay, so we're actually taking the arm back around behind us so that this front of the shoulder is opening. And so looking to our left thumb, or to our puppy dog if we've got someone sitting on a chair behind us. Breathe. Bring that slowly back around. And open it up. So looking to that thumb, nice deep breath. And then bring it back to center, and you might notice that one side's easier than the other. Okay. Next movement, we're going up. Okay, so we're going to link our fingers, Point our forefingers up towards the roof. Nice deep breath. Take your chin down slightly towards the base of your throat. I'm going to reach up and over to the left. You might feel a little bit wobbly as sitting cross-legged. Okay, so notice that your body's having to do a bit of core work to come off that center line. Inhale up, exhale, take it the other way. And then inhale up, let these arms come down and take the feet out in front, the legs out in front. Little shake for our knees. Loosen it all up. Little stretch for our toes, give them a wriggle. Stretch them out, a little movement. Circle them a couple of times. Give them a play. Be playful, again, loosening up this as well as our body. We're going to take our hands alongside into Dandasana, so into our staff pose. Roll the shoulders down and just lift up along that spine without lifting the shoulders up, okay? So just bring the body into that alignment, that quite strong alignment. Toes pointing up towards the roof. Breath back down into that long, long breath. Little lift in the back of the knee, and we're going to walk our hands slightly forward. Okay, now, even if you know that you can get your belly onto your thighs, we're going to go slow so that we can lift up. If this is maximum stretch for you, ketipai, it's all good. Let's just sit with that. Okay, so lifting along that spine, breathing. If you can, walk your hands a little bit further, but avoid the curl, okay? So the chest is coming forward, we're really in that breath. And if you can, a little bit further. And rather than thinking of it as your arms reaching, thinking of it as your spine, your pelvis, just rolling around those hips. Nice deep breath. Now go to wherever feels like it's the right place to be for your body. If we're going to be here for about another 10 breaths. Wander in slowly, come up slow. And as you do, little wriggle of the toes, checking in. It's a little black dog. Yeah. So check in on how your body's feeling, check in on the dog. You've got to help her. Hey? You being helpful? No, you're not. Then what we're going to do, crew, is we're going to just bring our right foot in alongside our thigh. Hi. Hi. Oh, really? And we're going to lift up along our spine, so we're going to feel nice and lengthened out. You're making everybody slow down today, is that the theme? Is it? Slow down. Slow down. And rather than using our arms to reach, because that can put us into a strange alignment, we can do the same thing where we walk our hands down and we lengthen along that spine and we just come down that leg. And long deep breath. wander it back up, change sides, just go slow. Again, they're sitting upright. She's sitting under the kitchen table. Are you? Are you sitting under the... Oh no, you're going to come back. Are you going to come back this way too? Are you? And just allowing, you know, sometimes we think that we know what we're doing and then one of our pets will come and sit on us like, no. It's a slow day. Right? It's a slow day. Yes, it is. So we're going to walk our way down that leg. Nice deep breath. And then we're wandering up and we're wandering in. Really? We're going to bring the soles of our feet into Baddha Konasana. Nelly. And when we lay on the floor and did this crew, it's quite different sitting up, right? Because sitting up, we've got a little bit more force that we can put into it. So some people will love it lying down and not like it sitting up, and some people will be round the other way, and other people it'll just be what it is, right? So we get our favourites. With this one of the reasons that we use it so much as a shape as we start to come forward in it, if you wish, is that we don't come off that centre line very often otherwise if we live a typical Western life where we're walking and we're sitting in chairs and we're not taking our legs kind of out. And it's not so much about what might be called open hips, it's more about range of motion, right? So that we can keep moving as much as we can. But also, if we lose our balance, we've got that kind of movement. We know how to correct. We've got somewhere to go with our body, particularly as we get older. So you notice me moving around in this, you know. So have a play, kind of play with rocking side to side, play with coming forward and coming back up. Might only be little movements, but again, we're just encouraging that movement in the body. What we want to do is make sure that the feeling is in the muscles, not just in the attaches of the muscles to bones, okay? So where they attach in, or perhaps where we've got bone to bone going on. And so that means that we want to feel all the way along these muscles, the ones that we probably don't like stretching. And so the other thing we can do, and if we're feeling like it, we can go over to the right. We can again get that neck stretch, drop the shoulders. Inhale up and take it the other way. Inhale up and just come forward that one more time along that spine. Nice deep breath. And then we're lifting up and we're going to lie ourselves back down. Okay, so bring yourself back down and around. Make sure you've got what you need for Shavasana. We're not going straight there, but just make sure that you've got those things. Once we're lying down, crew, we just take that moment. We're going to keep our feet tucked in. We're going to bring our arms alongside the body. Tuck the feet in as close as we can to the butt. And we're going to lift just off the floor with our hips. So you can almost feel the floor with our butt cheeks. So bring the bum up.
Give a little sway. And then slowly lift those hips up towards the roof. Keep the chin tucked in. Nice deep breath. Then vertebrae by vertebrae down we go. Take a moment there. Notice what's going on along your spine. You might be able to wriggle your feet in a little closer for the second one. You might feel like resting. You're going to push into the feet. We're going to see if our hands can reach our ankles. As we lift slowly up, long deep breath. Vertebrae by vertebrae down. And stretch those legs down along the floor. Bring your hands to your belly. Notice your breath for a moment. Then we can bring our arms alongside our body, palm facing up if we wish. Or we can leave them on our tummy. We can also walk our feet in and up the mat if our lower back is more comfortable that way. Find comfort. Let your breath lengthen. Some of you might like to pause at this point and switch over to the meditation. If that's not for today, really take rest. Really let yourself just soak into the floor for a couple more minutes. We haven't come up to standing. We haven't done a down dog. There's been things that are just different about this session. But notice that your body still feels, hopefully, that yoga glow. Take a moment to bring yourself back to the breath, back to that start breath. So we're going to bring our hands onto the belly if you've moved them. We're going to let that exhale out all the way down to the bottom and feel that pause. And then fill up on that inhale. And then soften, let it all slowly out. A couple more like that. reaching our arms up towards the roof. Give the fingers a wriggle. Make a fist a couple of times and then open those hands up. And then take those arms out nice and wide. Bring the feet up. The mat if they're not already there. Turning onto your left side, come up to seated. And around. And with this shorter session, Cohen, a shorter session like this, we really want to take that moment to not rush. And so we're going to sit and we're just going to feel that line from crown to base and feel like we can gather ourselves around into that space. And just take that moment, just bring that center point in. Don't already be in the next thing, whatever the next thing is. And just kind of breathe. Notice quite a bit of core work, so give the core a little movement, check it's feeling all right. And then we're going to reach up into that space and we're going to gather some of that beautiful energy that you've collectively created and bring it into the heart space. And then from the heart space down to the earth. Share some. And then back to the heart. And many blessings, everyone. Thank you for being present whenever you're picking up this yoga practice.